Hey guys, welcome back to Top of the Rock Mountain Biking, and today we have new bike day. As you can see here, this is a Kona Process 134. It's a 29er, and I got it from my local bike shop. Their name is Sealant Cycling in Colorado Springs, and they made this bike just for me. And it's tubeless ready. Doesn't come with pedals, but that's just because I'm going to put my race face chesters on them. And I'm going to put my carbon bars on. But I'm going to go into all the specs on this and why I chose this bike. So these are my Race Face 6C carbon bars. I love these. I put them on my last bike, the Talon, and they felt amazing. Like, can't go wrong with them. But one thing I'm noticing right before I put them on is that these bars are a little bit wider, and I'm noticing that this stem that comes with the bike is way shorter, which would actually be better for handling. However, I measured with my handy dandy caliper that the size of these bars are almost exactly the same. But I'm going to research that another day and just put these bars on with the stem it already has. So let's do that. These Kona grips aren't the best, but they're lock-ons, so I think I'm just going to leave them on there because my last pair is kind of all worn out. So it'll give me time to get a new pair. But the new bars are on. They look pretty good. I got my cockpit the way I want it. So now it's time to start going through all of the parts that are on this bike. So up here at the front of the bike, we have these carbon bars that I just put on. We have a tapered head tube going down to this RockShox Recon Solo Air fork with a through axle at the bottom. Now the main reason why I wanted a through axle was because if I wanted to upgrade these rims any day, then I have the ability to get some pretty decent rims. And it's just a lot easier and stronger than quick release crappy levers. But the front brakes, it's got a 180 millimeter front rotor. It's the same exact brake size as my last bike, which kind of sucks. This is the weak point on this bike, but it's easily fixable because this whole braking system that's on here is $50 in total with rotors and calipers and levers. So maybe for about $200 in the future, about a year or two from now when I get through these calipers and rotors, I can upgrade to like TRP or higher end braking. And this fork is actually way better than the last fork I had. It has compression damping. It's got, you can adjust the air in it because it's an air fork, and it's got rebound damping down at the bottom, which is really nice because it's all the things I'm really going to mess with in general. So that's nice. Working my way to the center of the bike. This has a single pivot linkage with a RockShox Deluxe shock. This shock was an upgrade. I was torn on getting the Fuel EX5 Trek and this one, but this one came with a better shock, and I did not want to have to mess with shocks in the future. That's why I went all out on these shocks. Coming to this chain ring, it's got Dior all the way, Dior drivetrain, cranks, chain ring, the chain is KMC, but everything else is Dior with a clutch, which is going to help a lot. But in the back, it has a couple of mounting spots, so I could put a bash guard on this, which would help a lot. Now, coming to this dropper post, this is a Trans-X dropper post. Not bad at all. It's something that will be effective and I will use a lot. So, now here at the back of the bike is also a through axle, which again helps with the upgrading rims. And then we got the 50 tooth cassette all the way down to 11 tooth. It's an 11-speed Dior, so plenty of range. I only really need a 9-speed, but all I need is a big gear and a really small gear because I only go fast or I'm climbing. I don't really need a lot of in between, but this is perfect for me. Then we have this 160mm rotor back here. And then again, not very good brakes at all. And something to mention up here is a threaded bottom bracket, which is very nice because anything that's pressed bottom bracket is really hard to do maintenance and replace. So that's going to make it a lot easier. Now let's talk about the tires and rims. These are tubeless ready, and I had them do it at the shop. So it's all tubeless and taken care of, but it comes with a Maxxis Minion in the front, and in the back it comes with a Maxxis Dissector. And for rims, we got WTB ST 30s, and pretty good rims, way better than what I had on my last bike. So this is a pretty big upgrade. Now it's time to go through the whole bike and remove all the little labels that we don't need on here anymore. This is also the stuff that came with the bike. This is the paperwork. This sealant I did buy, but these are the 2 tubes that came out of it. So, the last thing I want to talk about in this bike is the geometry. This bike isn't really meant for insanely fast climbing, but it's really good on the descents. And the brakes do hold it back a bit, but with this geometry design, it's just meant to go downhill. And that is the main reason why I got this bike. I am a slow uphill climber, and I don't really care. I just do it for a little bit of fitness, but descents, that is my middle name. So I only think there's one thing left to do. That is to take this beast out and really push its limits. So let's go do that. For this video, I'm just gonna take this bike for a couple jumps around here and just kind of see how it feels around Rattlesnake Butte. And in the next video, we're gonna take it to an actual trail and really dial in that suspension. And stay tuned because in a week or two, I'm gonna go to an actual park with lots of Black Diamond tech, which is gonna be all new to me, but I'm hoping this bike will handle that with the full suspension. So let's go outside and hit a couple small jumps for now. Yes, I did get a tad carried away with jumps, but I couldn't help myself. This bike is just too amazing. My last bike made every jump feel like a huck. On this bike, I feel like a plane taking off. It's just so much more stable. This bike is a huge upgrade, and I'm going to be riding it a lot. Stay tuned for a trail test next video where I push this bike to the limit on my local trail. Stay in the air, and I will see you all next time.